Hi, I'm Dr. Arnold.
Justin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Justin. Today we're going to be doing a general scan of your back from the top of your neck to about your belt line. Is it going to be okay if we expose your skin in that area?
Yes.
All right. Before we start, I'm going to make sure the table is safe and secure. All right. It does feel good. Before you have a seat, though, can you take your shirt off and then have a seat right here, facing that way? Go ahead and give me your head. Thank you. Okay. You're good.
All right, Levi, what was your segmental contact point?
Okay, my segmental contact point on the hips was the medial aspect of the PSIS. And then in the lumbar region, it was the spinous processes. And then in the thoracic region, it was also the spinous processes. And the cervical, it was for C7 to C2, it was the articular processes. And then in C1, it was the lateral masses.
What was your line of drive?
Okay. Again, on the hips, I was on the medial aspect of PSIS, and I was going lateral medial and P to A. And then the lumbar region, I was P to A. And then the thoracic region, I was P to A, but transitioning from a inferior to superior to inferior because of the curvature of the spine. And then on the cervical region, I was P to A the whole time, starting superior to inferior. And then as I got to about the mid-range cervicals, I was just P to A. And then as I transitioned to the upper cervicals, I was going inferior to.
What was the end play assessment?
All right, the in-play assessment is as I was springing the joints, I was feeling for a springy in feel and feeling if there is either springy in feel or restrictions, and I did not feel any restrictions, so it was a healthy spine.
Good.
All right, for this next part, I will be assessing your right hip. So can you please have it be belly down on the table? Yep, thank you. Is it okay if I tuck your shorts a little bit?
Yep.
All right.
All right, Levi, what was your segmental contact point?
My segmental contact point was the space between the ilium and the sacrum, and then with my right hand it was the right ASIS joint, and then I also contacted the right knee. All right, for this next part, I'll be taking a look at your thoracic spine. So can you please have a seat on the bench facing that way, please? Thank you, robot. All right, for this next part, can you take this arm and put it behind your back? Thank you. Okay, you can put your arm back now. Thank you. Okay, can you go ahead and cross your arms, putting your arms right there. Thank you. All right, we're going to bend forward now. Okay, one more time. All right, and we're going to rotate. Okay, now we're going to laterally bend. Okay. And laterally bend. Okay. Rotate. Okay. your arms. Can you put this arm behind your back one more time? Okay, you can remove it. Okay, can you cross your arms again? Okay. Alright. You want to cross your arms?
All right. So, what was your segmental contact point for that?
My segmental contact points were the spinous processes of T8 and T9 on lateral bending and rotation, and there was the interspinous space on flexion, and then also rib 8.
And how about your line of drive on those?
All right, on my line of drive was lateral to medial on the spinous processes, and then on the ribs, it was superior to inferior on depression, and then inferior to superior on elevation.
And how was the in play?
Okay. When I sprung the joints, I felt a springy or sponge-like feeling, which makes it a healthy joint. And then when I was springing the ribs, I also felt springing in play.
So you felt no restriction?
Making no restrictions and making them healthy joints.
Alrighty.
All right. For this next part, I will be taking a look at your lower spine. Is that going to be all right? Yep. All right, go ahead and have a seat on the table here, facing that way. Cool. Can you cross your arms? All right, we're going to flex forward. Okay, one more time. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
All right, Levi, what was your segmental contact point?
My segmental contact point was the spinous process of L2 and L3, and then in flexion, it was the interspinous space of L2 and L3.
And what was your line of drive?
My line of drive was lateral and medial on both the left and right side of the L2 and L3.
And what was the in play assessment?
In play assessment was I was feeling for a springy infield when pushing through the spinous process, and I felt no restrictions, so healthy joints.
Good. And what was your line of drive?
Okay, on the right SI joint, I was going from a to P motion, looking for a posterior glide, and then as I was raising the right leg, I was feeling for a anterior glide.
And what's your in play assessment?
My in play assessment was when I was in the space between the ilium and the sacrum, feeling for a gliding between the ilium and the sacrum.
And were there any restrictions?
No, in both assessments there were no restrictions, so it's a healthy joint.